Behold the Z-10, China's fierce aerial creation, a thunderbolt in the People's Liberation Army arsenal. Rumors abound, likening it to the infamous Chinese Apache, while the PLA boldly asserts its superiority over the West. Imagine a warbird, an aesthetic twin to the iconic American Apache, adding a layer of mystery to its origin. But here's the twist. China claims this as its inaugural leap into crafting attack helicopters domestically, sparking skepticism and intrigue. Is the Z-10 truly armed with cutting-edge weaponry and avionics, or does it conceal undisclosed secrets? Brace for an intense narrative where military prowess meets skepticism and the Z-10 emerges as a symbol of innovation shrouded in enigma. Join us as we are going to discuss about Z-10 as Apache Attack Helicopter. Before the Z-10 helicopter, China mostly had civilian scout helicopters. In the mid-1980s, they wanted a proper attack helicopter to deal with big groups of armored vehicles. This was crucial because many areas in China's west have mountains, making it hard for tanks to move. This helicopter project was super important for China. They invested over $500 million in the early 1990s, which is now over $1 billion. It was a big secret and a key part of China's 9th five-year plan. The project was given to China's Harbin Aircraft Manufacturing Corporation and China's Aviation Industry Corporation. They faced challenges. Russia didn't want to sell Mi-24 helicopters to China, and the US stopped selling arms to China in 1990 after the Tiananmen Square events. There was even a ban on selling helicopter technology. In the 1990s, China got help from other countries. Eurocopter France assisted with the rotor system in 1997. Denel from South Africa fixed stability issues, and Augusta Westland from Britain and Italy helped with transmission technology in 1999. It's like a parade of nations contributing, making the prototype seem like it should be wrapped in a United Nations flag. Many years later, it was revealed that in 1995, China secretly asked a Russian company, QV, to design the Z-10 aircraft. This was tricky because publicly, the 602 Research Institute was said to be the main designer. They did this to make people think the attack helicopter was made in China. Why lie about making it in your own country? One reason could be to avoid international arms embargoes. Another might be to take pride in what your country can do on its own. But a big problem in making helicopters is the engine. Here's how China solved that problem. They used the Pratt & Whitney PT 6C67C turboshaft engine. Pratt & Whitney Canada is part of a big US defense company. They broke the rules and sold advanced engine control software to China. When this came out, it became one of the biggest scandals in recent history of weapons. The story of how this happened sounds like it's from a dramatic TV show. Welcome back to Frontline Whispers. China faced arms embargoes, so their defense company had a clever plan. They said they were just coincidentally working on a civilian helicopter program. What a coincidence. This allowed China to buy helicopter engines from PwC. At the same time, they started making the Z-10 military helicopter. A big coincidence, right? PwC argued they didn't need new permissions for the engine tech since it was the same as what they were already supplying. But they sent 6 versions of military software without a license. A sneaky move. They sent it from the US to Canada and then to China, breaking the rules. Court documents show that PwC knew about China's true military plans for the helicopter. Surprise! But they wanted to sell helicopters in the civilian market in China and chose to ignore the military part. This came out from communications where PwC's marketing people were doubtful about China's sudden civilian helicopter program. In 2012, they got caught doing something wrong. They admitted it and agreed to pay more than $75 million to the US Justice and State Departments. This is the end of this Frontline Whispers story. Now, the Z-10 helicopter used 2 Pratt & Whitney Canada PT 6C67C engines at the back of the cockpit. Each engine could make a lot of power, 1,142 kilowatts continuously. These engines had a special system called FADEC, which means Full Authority Digital Engine Control. It's like a computer system that controls everything without needing a pilot to do it manually. With these engines, the Z-10 could fly for about 1,200 kilometers. This allowed China to make a big test helicopter by 2001. In less than 2 years, in April 2003, the Z-10 had its first flight, and by 2009, the Chinese military had the first operational ones. The Z-10 helicopter, designed by Wu Xingming, was praised as one of the world's top 3 gunships. He believed it would be exported to other countries, showcasing China's technological strength. Exporting weapons isn't just about money, it's also about showing off your country's capabilities. With its own engines, great handling and maneuverability, the Z-10 is better than foreign ones like the Eurocopter Tiger. But China faced a problem after the Pratt & Whitney incident. They couldn't get those engines anymore. So they used their own, the WZ-9 turboshaft engines, with help from Ukraine and Russia. They had to compromise on some advanced features, but it worked well enough. In 2016, the PLA said all their ground force aviation units had the Z-10. China likes symbolism, and this delivery marked the PLA Aviation Force's 30th anniversary. According to expert Dennis Blasco, each Chinese brigade might have about 80 Z-10 helicopters, though not all at full strength. The US has about 10 helicopters in each combat aviation brigade, with 1,200 Apaches worldwide. The US military has many more helicopters per soldier compared to China. Some reports say China has only 150 Z-10 helicopters, mainly used in aviation academy brigades in the Western theatres. The Eastern and Southern theatres prefer lighter Z-9S. Currently, Z-10S might be more concerning for India than Taiwan. As for using Z-10S on China's new aircraft carrier or landing ships, China differs from the US. In 2014, PLA released photos of Z-10 deck trials on Type 072 class landing ships. This unconventional approach lets China use landing ships as a launching pad for attack aircraft against Taiwan. The Type 072 ship has a landing helicopter pad but lacks a hangar or necessary LD for attack helicopters. Interestingly, China follows a doctrine where the Army commands attack helicopters, like the US did successfully in the Gulf War. China formed the People's Liberation Army Ground Force Air Force. After experiments, they chose the Z-10, featuring a four-bladed tail rotor for potential bullet hits. Its unique design reduces noise, similar to the Apache. The five-bladed main rotor sits in the fuselage midsection, rotating clockwise. The Z-10's tandem cockpits house a gunner and pilot in a modern, protected glass cockpit. The Z-10 comes equipped with various defensive features like the BMKG 300G self-protection jamming pod, laser warning receiver, infrared jammer, and chaff flare decoy launching systems. China introduces its first electronic warfare system, the YH-96, integrating all these features. It claims a high interception rate of hostile signals, analyzing threats and launching decoys and jamming signals automatically, including an IFF system. Chinese media boasts the Z-10's capability to destroy 6 enemy tanks in a single sortie and wipe out 3 tank companies with 4 Z-10S. The helicopter offers versatile war options with custom loadouts. However, successful functioning relies on system reliability and the development of tactics and doctrine. Armament includes 57mm to 90mm rocket pods, with the potential for 130mm ground attack rockets. The Z-10 accommodates multi-barrel unguided rocket pods, possibly using the Chinese Skyho 90. Configurations include PL-5 air-to-air missiles, 8 Ti-90S for aerial combat, or 16 T-9S on 4 pylon wing mounts. Compared to other choppers like the AH-64D or K-52, the Z-10 demonstrates its flexibility despite some potential challenges. The Z-10 helicopter faces challenges with fuselage fragility and stability. Despite these issues, it isn't considered a total failure, as it incorporates proven elements from other successful aircraft worldwide. Weighing similarly to the AH-64 Apache, but carrying only half the armor, it showcased its capabilities in high-altitude border patrols. Rumours suggest a possible upgrade with the WZ-16 engine, providing enhanced protection with composite armor. Despite improvements, the Z-10 is seen more akin to the American Cobra than the Apache. While not the pinnacle of attack helicopters, it reflects China's progress, though some argue they lag behind the US military hardware by over 2 decades. The saga continues. Spare parts army. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section.